Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Starladder Season 9, the LAN Finals. We're live in Kiev, and it's time for our fourth of 8 matches on the day. By the time this match is over, we will have seen each team once. The next match coming up, Invictus Gaming, your second-place team out of the China region, and then RoX.KiS, a team who, it was close if they were going to get in or not, but they came through in the tiebreakers in the end, and here they are. Now it's a clean slate.
RoX.KiS, I wouldn't say they're underrated. I think people put them in the weaker, probably the second weakest team of the whole entire tournament, but they definitely can pull out some moves, and they have a very well-known playstyle, but it's so hard to play against. Five-man Dota has been around for so long, and when I think of five-man Dota out of the teams in this tournament, RoX.KiS comes first and foremost.
Wow, really? Even over like the likes of Empire or DK?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
Like, almost every game I've seen them, it's like Chen, Abaddon, Dazzle, like 2 of those 3 supports, and then a fighter or a pusher, either Starladder or Luna comes to mind, and then whatever they want to run mid. And then they just take towers down a lot.
Yeah, they always draft where their lanes seem kind of awkward, but then it all comes together in the mid game with the group up and fight, and it's almost always five-man Dota.
I always underestimate their draft, though.
Yeah, you look at it, you're like, I don't know about these picks, and then
they're like, wow, these picks own.
Sometimes they lose the lanes, and then they still come roaring back in the mid.
They lose the length a lot.
Yeah. Well, on the other side, you've got Team Invictus Gaming, one of the few Chinese teams that actually runs Ember Spirit effectively, one of the most aggressive Chinese teams as well. They made a name for themselves all the way back in 2012 as the team that pioneered Face Rush in Chinese Dota. A beautiful word that's stuck ever since. And, well, we look at Invictus Gaming today. They have made some roster changes. I think the most notable one is that they've brought in Luo as their new carry player. Zhou has left the team. Chuan's made his return. But the 3 core players, Faith, 430, YYF, all still with the team today. So it's 4 of the 5 players that won that TI2 championship. Have they found the right formula? One thing I know for sure is they're just a different team with Luo. This guy is one of the most aggressive and unconventional carry players in China, and I would argue even outside of China. So you see him doing things like split pushing with not like, sometimes he'll play Lycan and he'll like rush a lot of combat items early. We've seen him play Storm Spirit before in the safe lane. They pretty much can run anything for the guy, and he just adds a different element. Whereas with Zhou, it was like there was always a few set heroes that you kind of expected out of IG.
Yeah, I didn't think Zhou's playstyle like meshed too well with the team post TI2 either. It just seems like they weren't on the same page a lot of the time.
There were so many games where they'd get him, like, I think after TI3 even, they'd get him morphling a lot, or like going into that, and it just didn't suit the team that well. Like or after TI2, yeah, it just didn't fit the lineup, like didn't fit the meta, but they kept on forcing it.
Well, I think the odds are 70-30 in favor of IG. That's, I think, reasonable enough. Maybe a little bit more for RoX.KiS.
I think it's reasonable, but I don't really feel confident about predicting this match. I feel a lot of it, especially with RoX.KiS, comes down to the draft and how well prepared their opponents are for them. IG said they've studied RoX.KiS. They know what to expect. Chuan said in the pregame interview he's not afraid. He's not, like, they're not going to be completely blindsided by these types of picks.
I think in the second ban phase, it's like you should definitely ban out those healer supports of getting pushed, unless you have a very good strategy. DK had a very good strategy versus Lycanthrope. Let's see if IG has the same versus RoX.KiS's 5-man push shenanigans.
Shenanigans, indeed. Well, of course, these 2 teams are both in Group B. There's 4 teams there, Navi and EG, the other 2 teams in that group. If you missed the first match, well, in the end, EG took it. So EG now 1-0 in the group, Navi 0-1, and a win here. For this group, there's not like that one team that's going to be the punching bag, like MVP. I mean, maybe a team goes 0-3, but we can't look at it at the outset of the tournament and say they'll obviously be the team that's in trouble. So, well, with that being said, let's run through the draft quickly. Ember Spirit, the first overall pick for IG. They banned Invoker and Lycan, quite standard. RoX.KiS banning Naga and Ancient Apparition. Now, Naga's not really a hero that I've seen IG run before. And if they have, it's certainly not a go-to pick for them. They don't run a ton of the solo mid-Naga. In fact, none of the Chinese teams do. That's more of an SEA thing that you see. Teams like Scythe Gaming will do it quite a bit, and I know Arrow Gaming has done it, but it's not really common in Chinese Dota, so that's a little bit of an interesting ban, but it leaves the Ember Spirit out there. Something 430. This is the only Chinese team that's been running a lot of Ember, and they've been very successful with it in the Chinese scene. So how will they do in Asia? Well, in Starladder remains to be seen, but first overall pick Ember, and like you said, RoX.KiS, just their classic strong healing supports, good 5-man supports, Dazzle, Chen, and then Starladder. But look at this from IG. They go Elder Titan, one of the best heroes against 5-man Dota.
Wow, giving away Ember Spirit and Bat Rider. That is some stuff right there.
You would not see this for most other teams.
That is
no way.
Super scary.
Maybe you give away one, but giving away both?
Those two heroes are just insanely good. I still think that Bat Rider is the best offlaner in this version as of right now. And Ember Spirit, I think, is slightly imbalanced. Too strong. He's really strong, but at the same time, Starladder is pretty good versus him. He can, like, 3-shot him with his ultimate on. And he has good lockdown.
What do you think about the Elder Titan pick? This is a hero that traditionally excels in 5v5 Dota because the aura, the Spirit does a ton of damage, a lot of AoE. But do you think he's going to fit in this game? Do you think he'll be able to get his levels? Will Elder Titan be an impact?
To be
hero?
honest, I haven't seen any Elder Titan in, like, I don't even know, 3 months maybe?
The one team that was most stubborn about stopping to pick him was Liquid. Like, Liquid kept on running Elder Titan way after the hero felt effective. And it never, like, I feel like ever since he got nerfed, it stopped working, but they just kept on running it. Now even Liquid doesn't run.
I think it's nice for damage, but I think they lack lockdown. Like, what are they going to do if a Starladder just, like, runs in their face or, like blinks in? They can't really do that much. And then after that, they have Stampede, just try and chase him down. I don't think that Elder Titan is the right offlaner to kind of deal with this. They need, like, some sort of good counter
like a clockwork or something.
Yeah, well, they'll run, what, Bat Rider offlane or Elder Titan offlane? I haven't seen IG enough to be able to...
Once in a while, the Chinese teams do run support Elder Titan. I don't know if we'll see that this particular game, but it is something to keep in mind is maybe Bat's offlane. Ember should be mid for 430. I actually don't think they've picked Luos here yet. I mean, maybe they run Ember safe lane for him, but it's been 430 who plays this hero, so it could be an Elder Titan support.
Yeah, I would like to see, like... I would have liked to see, like, a Shadow Demon instead of Elder Titan. Like, a hero that's, like, decent on... offense and defense and can save the Ember Spirit, because Ember Spirit's going to have his work cut out for him. Like, if he gets caught out by Starladder or even Centaur, like, he's just going to flop. And Ember Spirit's that hero that you can't lose first in a fight.
RoX.KiS seem to be having done their research, I want to say. It seems like they expect another carry pick for Luo. Morphling, one of the heroes he's played quite a bit of recently. Lycan's the other big one. Sometimes we see him on carry Prophet, but IG banned that themselves. And yeah, we'll see what Luo plays this game. What's actually left in terms of carries, I guess, is the main question.
Versus this sort of 5-man lineup, it's really tough.
There's Gyro. Gyro may be a good choice
decent, but he's also bad versus face rush lineups, I'd say.
They don't have much to protect him is the big concern here.
Yeah.
Is there anyone who's more durable on their own? They've banned out Morphling, they've banned out maybe something like Murana, who doesn't really excel in that situation, but at least hard to kill, does a bit. Well, let's see.
I'm trying to think. Like, Lifestealer, I think, would do pretty poorly here. He'd get kited. There's a lot of
he's also banned.
Oh, he's banned.
I actually like the way both teams are banning, though. Like, IG clearly recognized RoX.KiS' style, which is, like we were talking about, 5-man, group up and fight around the 10 to 20-minute mark. And RoX.KiS, they recognize what IG want, which is not to run an offlane all the time, but actually a support. So they banned the Morphling here. They removed the hard-to-kill split-push carries and the good ones that are good at turtling, and now we'll have to see what's left for each team. RoX.KiS should be looking at their solo mid, maybe something like a Puck.
Tinker?
Yeah, it's going to be matched against the Elder Titan, or Ember Spirit, rather, most likely. So.
Sorry, I meant Tinker for
IG.
But...
yeah, maybe they run a safe lane Ember in the solo mid.
I mean, it could even be safe lane Tinker.
Yeah, that's a possibility as well.
I'm trying to think of other heroes that would do pretty well.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, this is
just, it's got Black Dota. He's coming for you.
It's not like you can't say you didn't see it coming, though. Like,
they saw it coming. Look at the bans. They banned the Abaddon, they banned the Nature's Prophet, they banned the Invoker and Lycan, like heroes who just fit perfectly into the strategy. And the Viper, I think that's the most telling ban of all. 5-man pushing carry. But it's like there's too many options out there for that style.
Yes.
Navi likes to run their Venomancer for this type of thing, which I think is not that strong, but...
there's a Murana you called.
Yeah. Well, does Murana work against this kind of draft?
I don't think so. I don't think she has enough team fight to be useful versus 5-on-5, and she doesn't split push fast enough to make them threatened enough. And she is a good, like, early fighter, though, which is what I like. If they went, like, heavy late game, like, let's just say Phantom Lancer or something like that, or even Gyrocopter with the HOD, I think they would have been pretty wrecked. But at the same time, like, if once they get a BKB on Starladder, look, what can they do? Nothing. They can run, and they are good at running on these cores. Murana can leap away, Bat can just Firefly the hell out of there, and Ember can Spirit away. But what I wonder for IG is
what's the Elder Titan actually going to do this game?
I don't know. That's why I was like, I'm not really sure why they picked him. I think I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and say they have a plan for him. But at the same time, like, I don't really see him thriving in this. Like, Echo Stomp is okay, counter initiate.
Yeah. I mean, in theory, here's how I see it, is they're like, okay, RoX.KiS like to 5-man. They like to group up and take towers and fights. Elder Titan can get his aura on everybody. He can stomp multiple heroes. He's got a lot of AoE for support, decent damage and counter pushing. But can he actually get off his combo? I mean, RoX.KiS are a very fast lineup. Death Prophet has a lot of mobility with Witchcraft passive. Starladder obviously goes Blink Dagger. They have Centaur ult. I almost feel like RoX.KiS can just bypass the Elder Titan and just go fight the backlines.
That's why I'm a little bit scared for IG's lineup. But at the same time, that is a lot of damage. If they have an Astral Spirit and then they have the Searing Chains plus Sleight of Fist, that's a lot of damage coming out. But at the same time, like RoX.KiS, they're just going to be all up in your face.
Oh, boy.
They're going to be looking to kill people with Starladder.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Batrider's the one in the front lines, though. This is not the best hero to initiate. And already the pings are coming out. They're going to ward off the enemy jungle. All right, it's time, Merlini. Let's run through our lineups. It's Invictus Gaming versus RoX.KiS. Your final match of the first set for today. We've got a total of 8 games. It's their first appearance on the big stage. IG, 4 of the 5 players from their International 2 championship roster. In fact, all 3 international teams are here, live in Kiev for Starladder Season 9, the LAN Finals. Over $210,000 in prizes await the winners of this event. Well, on the side of IG, you've got Faith playing your support Elder Titan. Luo will be on the Mirana. Very versatile carry player. This time he goes off lane. YYF onto the Batrider. Headed maybe to the safe lane, or yeah, it looks like to the safe lane to start. Ferrari 430. The only real Ember Spirit player in China. He'll be going to the mid lane, and that does leave last, but certainly not least, Mr. Chuan, the man with a big appetite. He'll be playing your Crystal Maid. And then on the Dire side, you've got RoX.KiS. Sadoy as your off-lane Centaur solo, who's been at times just incredible and at times had atrocious games. So just a very Jekyll and Hyde act of a player. Great player, but inconsistent on the Death Prophet. And you have BZZ is perfect playing your safe lane Starladder. That puts Yol onto the support Dazzle. And last but not least, Godblack on the Chen. And they actually bring down the Centaur in the safe lane. Yeah, first blood.
The boost first on YIF really paid off there. He got Sticky Napalm in, who was just right-clicking him down with 4 stacks and got him good.
Boots first, normally you can just run away. Just too slow with the Sticky Napalm, I guess.
Well, he has boots too.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah, YYF has boots too.
Not often you see a safe lane bat. That's in general, actually. Teams just don't do this very often.
Well, it was very smart for them because they thought that there was a tri-lane top, and they see Faith up there, and they see the Mirana, and they think that the Crystal Maiden's probably around there somewhere, or jungling, but instead goes for an early first blood on Sadoy. Very nicely played from IG. And the longer they can delay RoX.KiS from 5-manning, the better the game is going to be. They need to delay the blink on Starladder, delay the blink on Centaur. They also need to delay the mech on Chen. And once those 3 items come out, I mean, they're going to come out eventually, but the longer delay, the longer you hold your T1s, the better the game is going to be for IG, because they just have better gank around the map, they have better mobility, they have better split push, just not better push.
Ferrari 430 in the mid lane. He has skilled up the Searing Chains, no points yet on Sleight of Fist, so he was actually holding some skill points here, but opts to go with the Searing Chains in the end. And we'll see Godblack picks up an Illusion Rune. It's now 2 minutes in. He's got a smoke here. Does he look to make a move towards top? So far, nothing doing there. But we'll head towards that lane. And the Spirit's going to scout things out. This is the one nice thing about the support Elder Titan, though, Ben, is that he can just scout for these incoming ganks with the Astral Spirit. And even if he does get caught, he's very tanky. So not a hero they want to be focusing in general.
Yep, they're getting very good experience here. Godblack, he only has 2 camps to work with. One of them Mud Golems, and one of them he just took out. So we're going to see him a little bit under-leveled. He could potentially smoke gank in mid, but Ferrari, he's going to be extremely difficult to kill. He does have his level 1 Sleight of Fist right now. Oh, actually, he's taking a lot of damage. Where's his bottle?
Should be coming. Yeah, I'm waiting for a magic stick as well, but now it comes out. The pressure was applied top, but it's just not easy to get these kills. Boots out onto the Elder Titan, and always Luo has the leap to back him up. As long as that's available, RoX.KiS have a hard time finding these kills. And so far, Godblack hasn't really been jungling much. His jungle was very aggressively warded off earlier when they made their move in, and doesn't have any stacks. So this Chen, you mentioned they need the mech to come online. They want the Starladder Blink. They want their levels up. Well, all of that will be delayed by Godblack's jungle being shut down.
Juan's waiting for potentially a kill mid. He has not gone for level 2 Arcane Aura, but this is going to be an extremely difficult kill to get.
They can Slate a Fist into Searing Chains here, and they get the combo off, and now Solo. Oh boy, this is trouble. Although 430 isn't actually hitting him. Right now, it looks like the shield got dispelled, so he doesn't have the extra damage. The Flame Guard went down, and now a Spirit chasing down Solo, running him down. No, not enough damage.
That was fairly lucky by Ember Spirit. There were 4 units there, and he got Searing Chain, so I guess it's not that.
Well, they were all grouped up pretty close together, though.
I know, but it only hits 2 of 4 targets.
That's true.
It's still fairly lucky, but still nice by him. But maybe he waits a little bit for the Flame Guard after he casts his Carrion Swarm to get a little bit more damage. They just didn't have enough there.
Yeah, that got canceled almost instantly.
Yep.
Shield has 200 Magic Absorb at level 1, so I guess he had already absorbed 1 Carrion Swarm, and then the second one must have broken it. Well, with that additional damage, they would have gotten the kill for sure, but wasn't there. And meanwhile, you look at the off lane for RoX.KiS, Sidoi, despite the first blood, he's still getting his levels up.
I don't know. He might die again, though. He has 10 Magic Stick charges.
If he can just get to level 6, I feel like he's thoroughly done his job. At the same time, though, YYF's level 6 almost has a dagger. He's just rushing straight for it. So I don't know if the Centaur will be alive for much longer. No vision in the bottom lane. And Crystal Maiden just parked in position. It is nighttime as well. YYF's going to go in now. Drops the Firefly. The Nova's there too. And Sidoi, even with the 10 stick charges, can he make it out? There's no Flame Break here, but there's a Frostbite at the ready. And one more right click will bring him down. There's your Blink Dagger. 5-minute Blink with boots. Oh, man.
That is just super darn scary. We used to see a lot of safe lane Batrider. He is a very good lane dominator too. One-on-one matchup, especially a lot of chasing room, like in your safe lane. That is just a super scary lane for anyone. And Centaur is one of the premier offlaners in this patch too, and he just can't really do anything. I like this unusual choice from IG though to run this dual lane bottom. Yeah, they don't have a carry safe lane farming there, but their problem is not getting to the late game. Their problem is not losing the mid game. And with a Batrider with his 5-minute blink, I think they're in a very good position to slow down these really important items from RoX.KiS. Looks like Starladder has opted for a Treads instead of rushing the Blink Dagger. Centaur, he's not doing well at all. He only has 100 gold, and they blocked off a lot of Chen's creeps. So the 3 main items, the Blink Starladder, Blink Centaur, and Mech Chen are not coming anytime soon.
The Starladder, it's pretty standard. Normally, you see both Empire and RoX.KiS like to get their Treads. So nice Vanguard even as well. And only then do they go for additional for the Blink Dagger. I haven't not seen them rush it very often. Maybe if they get like 2 or 3 kills on the Starladder, but that goes back to IG's dual lane top. Not only are they dual laning top, but they're not dying top either.
It's really important though to counter initiate the Batrider blink. Like without a blink on Starladder, how do they counter initiate? Grave is going to be mediocre.
Centaur ult is pretty much it.
Centaur ult's okay, but you're still usually going to die afterwards. You'll probably get Searing Chain, you'll probably get arrowed or frostbitten. You're not going to be able to move at all. And without the Centaur blink too, they just don't have any way to keep the Batrider in place.
And YYF's already on the move. Hits level 7, still no points in Flame Break, but expect to see one coming soon. And with a smoke and the blink online, Lasso's cooled down. YYF, most notable for his Nature's Prophet play in this version, but looking to make some plays happen as Batrider. The Fireman's on the move. And will he find any fires to put out? Your Centaur's sitting quite far back. He'll head towards the southern tree line, make his move through the enemy Ancients in just a moment. But Sidoi is playing terrified. And he still might get caught. Is he far enough back? If he goes out with this wave, this will probably be his death. YYF perched in position. Sidoi, he's not falling for it. Look at this.
Good awareness.
This positioning. Oh, wow.
But still, free T1 tower for IG.
Well, what else could they do, I guess?
Nothing. I mean, it's just really nice for RoX.KiS, though, because they could have easily given up a kill and a tower. They'll just give up a tower instead. And nice awareness from Sidoi, realizing that he probably has a Blink Dagger and he's probably smoked, because that's almost what every Batrider does once they get 2,200 gold.
So 430's really been playing aggressively mid. 39 and 8, keeping up his CS with the Death Prophet. Both heroes farming, but it's only the Ember who has the kill potential. There's just no way he's going to die to Solo. Solo doesn't even have a point in silence yet, so there's just no killing potential here. And in fact, if you look at RoX.KiS, that's kind of their problem. With no blink on the Starladder, and with Centaur not being particularly farmed, how do they exert pressure on the map? It falls to the Chen, and the Chen's been slowed down by the wards.
Oh, YYF, he's going to get a rune bottle. He might catch Solo out.
Well, Solo playing it safe for now. I just really like the way IG are moving their lanes around. Like now they've given Faith the top lane. They'll give him an additional bit of space. YYF's been prowling ever since he got the Blink Dagger. Sure, he might not be getting kills, but he helped them get the tower bottom. Now he goes in mid, and he sets up on Solo. There is a level 1 Grave available here. Solo's still healthy for now. Pops his ultimate and just starts melting YYF, but not quickly enough. Now Sidoi comes in, not level 6. So too does BZZ is perfect. Also not level 6, or doesn't have his Blink rather. They rotate everyone in, they get nothing.
See, if he had his Blink right now, he can actually get a kill. Power Treads, 950 gold right there, Ring of Health, 875, and then 750. He could have had his Blink Dagger, and they just can't catch anyone. Batrider's just going to get killed. They're not going to be able to contest that, and Death Prophet cannot afford to die this early. He doesn't even have upgraded boots. He has Boots, Bracelet, and a Null Talisman and Bottle. That's really poor.
And there's so much initiation already for IG. The Ember Spear comes with Searing Chains. You've got your Blink Lasso. It's gonna, and not to mention things like Arrow. Speaking of which, bottom lane, Sidoi getting pursued out here. If there's a Frostbite, there's a kill. And the Arrow will follow. Now the Starfall over the top. It's only level 2. They still have just enough damage. They bring down Sidoi. And IG are just rolling through RoX.KiS. 5-0 the score. Leading by 3k gold. Leading by 3k experience. And I think pretty indisputably the better late game team. Sure, you've got Death Prophet who can do a lot of damage late game, but IG have multiple heroes that can do a lot late. Your Starladder mostly just an initiator, Centaur, way too poor to be considered a factor. And the Death Prophet's dying. Has Bracer, has Null, no phase boots like you mentioned. They don't have anyone who's going to take it late right now.
And at the same time, Elder Titan augments everyone's damage on IG too, so that's going to be pretty big. And I think, as you said, it's a really smart lane rotation because Elder Titan really needs levels as support. They're giving it up to him up top. He doesn't really need farm. He needs getting levels. Mirana needs farm, so they dump her in the safe lane, and Batrider needs to get kills. So everyone's doing their thing. Batrider is getting kills.
And, yep, Batrider's getting kills again. Lasso on the top lane. Finds BZZ is perfect, and this is a Vanguard delayed. I don't know. Did he buy his Vit booster in time? Oh, okay, he got the Vit booster, but
Vanguard is
still no Blink Dagger.
Disgusting, man.
Yeah,
I really do not like the Treads Vanguard build, especially in this sort of game where they're all a mid-game lineup. Like, yeah, sure, you're going to be tanky, but you can't catch anybody. How are they going to catch an Ember Spear without a Blink? How are they going to catch a Batrider without a Blink? They can't do so. And with Centaur just having one of the worst stars I've seen from a Centaur, 0-3-0, and him with 12 last hits, he just hit level 6 11 minutes in. They just don't have any counter initiate, and they're just going to keep trading 1 for 0, 2 for 0, 1 for 0 here and there, and slowly but surely they are just worsening their position. RoX.KiS, they need to be able to group up sometime, and
where's the tempo control going to come from? Again,
it's just a 5-man push with a mech. I think that's it. Chen's coming with his mech and 150 gold.
That feels very dicey, though. Like,
well, what else do they do, though?
Yeah, I agree, but they're pushing into a great counter push lineup.
Yes.
There's a lot of AoE on IG. They have good initiation if you overextend. And I feel like RoX.KiS can overcome that with the blinks, but neither one is coming soon. Well, what else are they going to do? 3 heroes grouped up top, but Godblack says, you know what, back to the jungle. I got to at least finish this mech. Meanwhile, Solo mid is just getting creep skipped, and now 430 is going to commit to the kill. Nope, he'll zip out. Forces out 2 TPs, and then back across the river he goes. Space created.
Tower's denied, but I think it's definitely good for IG because this halts a lot of momentum from RoX.KiS. Without that T1 tower, if they're pushing up mid and they lose a fight, they just risk being chased all the way back to their base.
2 heroes Searing Chains, but there's no follow-up. He does have a Remnant out. He'll zip out towards it. Now they found Solo. They pull him in, but they do need to burst him down quickly because the ult's flying, and he'll force everyone else back. Now they'll try to bring down Tron on the backside. The CM's probably the one who falls here. Another Sleight of Fist. Not enough damage from 430, and they get a nice kill. Although they lose the Dazzle to the Ember in the end, so actually it was enough damage.
Oh, so close. Ember Spirit just barely TPing out there, but at the same time, they trade 1 for 1, and they get the Death Prophet ultimate.
And the Mirana's not fighting with them. The Elder Titan's not fighting with them.
Yes.
They're doing this 3v5.
And normally that you'd be able to translate it into tower kill, but they're just in no position to do so. And I don't even know if RoX.KiS is going to be able to pressure tower like before 15-20 minutes. There is the mech up on Chen at the 12-minute mark. They can do Roshan, I think, fairly easily, unless Batrider grips an important hero like Death Prophet.
IG have so many ways to just punish you in the pit. You mentioned the Bat.
They have Ghost, though.
There's also Ember, and there's the Mirana Arrow.
Ghost is really, really strong for a pit, though. It's like kind of like fighting a Rasta Wards.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they're going to try for it. They'll group up.
They need to drop a Remnant inside to get vision.
And almost like they're listening.
Yeah, and then here they go. This is They have to do this, though. If RoX.KiS doesn't do this, they're not going to be able to push a tower. It's too far away from their base, and it's not a safe enough position. I think Roshan is much safer than pushing Rosh at this point. But now, Ember Spirit, level 10. He has level 4 Sleight of Fist. They're going to be dealing with a Sleight of Fist every 6 seconds now. And looks like no one else is really there except for Elder Titan and Ember Spirit. Do they not know that they're Roshan?
I don't know if IG cares. Do they care?
Yeah, I think they should.
Well, they don't seem like they care. Tron's off top.
Oh, man.
They're just Sleight of Fist Spirit spamming them out of the pit. I don't think they can do it.
Wow. They're holding
2 heroes are preventing a 5-man Rosh.
Yeah, this IG, they are so well prepared for what RoX.KiS has to throw at them. And they're just one step ahead of them like every time. They know exactly what they're doing and what they're going to do.
And you know what, the other thing, which I actually remember, now I remember I did cast IG running a similar lineup like 3-4 months ago. You can just Sleight of Fists and catch 2 with chains and then stomp over the top. They don't have the point stomp yet, but it's like a guaranteed initiation. Now they find the Death Prophet right as the Roshan falls. The Aegis will go the way of Starladder, and RoX.KiS are forced into a retreat. Solo living for now. 430 is going to take him down regardless, and then zips back the other direction. Spirits out the other way. 430 is running rings around RoX.KiS, and then he comes back into the fray, and they just start clubbing. Zadoy's next. They're blowing them to bits here. 4 dead. They've lost the Aegis. Make it 5. Make it another death unless BZZ can find his way out, and it ain't happening with this much damage, this much slow. It's a team wipe. IG 12-2. Mastering RoX.KiS here. There's just nothing.
Yeah, this is brutal. They lost the lanes. They only have 1 big item out right now. They have no blinks. They lost a Roshan fight very decisively. And now what does RoX.KiS do? They can't take Roshan. They can't out-farm them. They can't out-gank them. They can't push, I think.
Like you said before the draft, RoX.KiS, they generally run one style. There's a few variations of it. But the problem with their style is it's not very versatile in terms, like, you have to do well at this stage of the game.
Yes.
10 to 20 minutes. If you don't, generally your goose is cooked. And especially against this IG draft. YYF is on the run here, though. And he'll just blink away. Well, this has got to be frustrating for RoX.KiS.
Do they go YOLO 5-man push mid?
They can't. They couldn't YOLO 5-man Rosh with 2 heroes there.
Well, what else do they do? They'll just get picked off by Batrider.
I don't know.
Well, I think first step
maybe
is
the best bet.
Farm blinks.
Well, they can't when 430's doing this, just constantly threatening to go in.
Well, you suicide like your Chen or your Dazzle to
slow down the push.
Yeah, to space create or something.
Yeah, that's not a great recipe. But I do hear what you're saying. They need the blinks. They can't fight without them. Meanwhile, Bat's got a 4-staff and a Boots of Travel. So now they'll be everywhere. And they're sending 5 top. IG are going to go for the killing blow. 430's going to set up shop with an initial Searing Chains. Now they just look for the lasso. And if they find Solo here, if he's gone before this fight starts, then RoX.KiS had better just run. Now they realize their folly, and they want to retreat. But on the chase is the Ember. Another 2 hero Searing Chains. He just keeps on delivering. Nice Centaur ult, though. They'll retreat out. Not quickly enough. Zadoy's going to fall. Can't run away. One more right click brings him down, and 430's just not done yet. They'll finally stomp the poor guy, but they can't even stop him. Out comes the Spirit as well. The chase continues. Another Sleight of Fists. I jinxed him. He missed the Searing Chains. But there was a stomp there. Almost sets up an arrow. Nice crush. RoX.KiS trying to run away, but YYF has found an opening. Another slash through. Another kill for Faith. Another kill for YYF. 4 heroes dead. They just can't stop.
This has to be GG soon. This is absolutely brutal. This is really demoralizing for RoX.KiS. It's their first game of the tournament, and they pretty much picked one of their ideal lineups, and they're getting massacred.
IG are just making them look silly.
Yes, they really are.
I mean, from the early laning setup was really solid for them. Sure, maybe some things were avoidable, like the Centaur could have played more defensively, not given up a first blood, but he was never going to have a good time bottom. They were never going to stop the Bat from getting a fast blink with that lane. And I guess the main thing they could have done is maybe gone for an early blink on Centaur or on Starladder, but even then, would it have been enough to turn this game? He still would have been very squishy against IG.
Yeah, I think the draft, though, giving Ember Spirit and Batrider away is just ludicrous.
Right.
Ludicrous.
It's something you wouldn't see anyone else do, really, except for RoX.KiS.
Yeah. And they're so good at doing damage from long range, too. As we saw from the Roshan pit, like, if you stick around and linger, which is usually what you do when you're pushing, you're waiting for waves, you're waiting for them to engage on you, and you take that sort of damage, and you can't really initiate on that, then you're going to get chipped away, and you're going to be in this position where
he was just toying with them. He's just sitting here, and they, like you said, they couldn't punish it. Couldn't do anything against it. And they still can't now. He's still toying with them.
You need the blink.
They need like a Storm Spirit, the Blink Dagger. I mean, this just doesn't cut it. Well, and 430 now sees an opening. He's still got a drum charge ready. Though out comes the ultimate from the Dazzle, but it's too late. Yo gets pulled back in. He'll quickly fall. Now they'll move on to solo. I think they'll even fight their way through the Ghost if they can. 430 on the retreat out, but he zips away mid-double hitch cast animation. Now Goblik also on the run in the woods. Oh, they do manage to get the kill in the end on the Mirana. Well, that's something. That's definitely a much-needed kill, but they're not done yet. Another Searing Shades connects on two once again. One more Sleight of Fist. That's going to be all she wrote. He can even Spirit forward. Gets crushed. I don't think that's enough. Can prop the drum charge. Keep on chasing. The Spirit brings down one, and another slash. They're just too good at chasing. RoX.KiS can't get away from this initiation. Now they're Stomp. Oh, it's so frustrating to watch. Another kill for Faith on the backside. And finally, they'll lose the Starladder here. He comes roaring in. 4 dead. It's GG. RoX.KiS just got hammered. Our first beatdown of Starladder. This was much worse than the MVP loss to Empire.
That's brutal. That's just...
IG just massacred them.
Poor RoX.KiS. They barely squeaked by through the tiebreakers, but I think after seeing this game, they are definitely like in that 7th to 8/8th slot along with MVP Phoenix. They might even look worse than MVP Phoenix. The biggest thing I'm concerned about for RoX.KiS is their lack of versatility.
Maybe they go back to the drawing board. They've always been a team, though, that tends to just do what they're comfortable with. Godlike teams, he picks differently, but honestly,
but they're not going to be comfortable running this. Did you see how badly they got crushed?
What else are they going to do? What do they draft?
I hope they have something else. That's the thing about like this patch. You have to be versatile, and you have to play like kind of what works well against the other team. And IG, perfect example of that.
Whew, that was. There's not much to say. They
made Elder Titan work. I think that's a pretty important point. But
they actually I had watched the game where they ran that combo before, and it gets even scarier later because what you do is you Sleight of Fist in, then you Searing Chains multiple heroes, and then you just stomp Spirit over the top. Then you ult, and everyone dies. So I completely forgotten, but IG has actually run that combo before.
Just ban Ember, man.
Yeah, if you just ban the Ember, then they don't run the combo.
Still, it's.
But I wasn't like just the hero pick. It was the way IG laned it that was so smart. And their constant rotations. It's like they're like, okay, right now we need levels on Elder Titan. So we've got a Bat Rider with a Blake. He'll start ganking. We can let Mirana farm the safe lane, rotate her off top. Let's leave the Elder Titan top as well. And just every movement was picture perfect, really.
Unpredictability is key. They knew exactly what Chen was going to do. They blocked off all his camps. They knew exactly where Slaughter and Dazzle were going to lane. They knew where DP and Centaur were going to be, and at the same time, RoX.KiS had no idea where CM was going to be, and you can tell from how Sidoi died for First Blood. And then after that, they were scared of YYF. He could be smoked, he could be ganking anywhere, and that's you can't play like that. Well,
IG looked strong though.
IG looked really good.
Watching this game, sure, RoX.KiS is maybe a bit predictable, but IG's own execution was close to flawless. So
yeah.
I look at IG as a legitimate threat to beat Navi and EG. And
it's really difficult to place them in like the RoX.KiS. I would say they probably look better in an alliance, but it's still a hard game.
Well, they're in Group B, so
yeah, I know.
Yeah, for the group stage, not as important, I guess. But
yeah, so how would they fare above Navi or EG? I have no idea. I don't have to see them verse in a closer game.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll have a closer game later. And with that being said, guys, we've got 4 more matches coming up. The next one is going to be a big one. Empire versus DK, both of the undefeated teams. Yeah, they've each only played 1 game, but both 1-0. Winner of that game is all but guaranteed first place in the group, or tied, at least top 2, rather. So all but guaranteed to be in the winner's bracket for the playoff portion. So Empire versus DK coming up next, guys. We have a bit of a longer break since this was a close match, so hopefully we'll have some interviews coming up for you. I think we might have Universe on the docket, but with that being said, I'm LD. He's Merlin.